I'm JB Portillo. Welcome to In the Know, a POA-sponsored program to help keep you informed of all projects and events going on in our area. At the beginning of each month, we will post this program on the POA's Facebook site and make it available to the community television station. We hope you enjoy being in the know. Welcome! The guest for this segment today is Tom Judson, our COO, and we'll also include a pre-recorded interview with Joan, our Director of Recreation and Wellness. It'll be about the beach at Avalon. Welcome, Tom.
Thanks.
Good to see you again.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, we, as usual, have lots of things to talk about today.
Yes, we do.
Would you like to just take off and get started?
So, wanted to talk about BV's Grill.
Oh, yes.
And Lake Point. We're doing just great. BV's is just, they're doing so fantastic. We're busy all the time. I'm very pleased. Now, we're still in the first 6 weeks, and restaurants, when they open up in Bella Vista, can be very busy in the first 6 weeks. But so far, it's been going very well. The reviews are really good, so I'm very, very pleased.
Yes.
Jumping over to Lake Point, as of last week, we had 47 events, mainly weddings, but reunions, birthday parties, business meetings, 47 events that'll take place this year.
Oh, my goodness.
And we haven't even hit our first year anniversary. So I'm really excited with how we're doing. Both teams are just doing a tremendous job.
Did you happen to be at Lake Point the other night when the dancer got out on the pavilion but with the sun behind him?
I saw that on Facebook. It was fantastic.
Oh, my goodness. He is just something else.
Yeah. Free
entertainment for you. Okay. Shall we talk a little about the election?
So the election's going well. We're at approximately 20% last time I checked, so it might be up from there.
Okay.
We encourage as many people to participate in the election as possible. Vote, vote, and vote is what we keep on telling people. We will send out email reminders on a regular basis, but we want as much participation as possible.
Okay.
The annual meeting is coming up in about 2 weeks, and we'll find out who has been elected to the board of directors.
And that's the 15th of May?
Yes, it's Tuesday at 6 o'clock at Reardon Hall.
Okay, good deal. All right, you want to talk about Burksdale vote?
Yeah, this was a tough vote for the board. So to give you a little historical perspective, last year in April, we experienced a significant flood. The board went through and they wanted to make follow a logical path to a solution, and so they hired a hydrology company, and we interviewed 4 different hydrologists, local, that understand Little Sugar Creek. We hired them. We got the report around the first of the year. And unfortunately, the report was not what we really wanted to hear, which was the flooding is only going to get worse.
Right.
The intensity and the frequency and the flooding is only going to get worse. And so based upon that, it was determined, we also looked at what the costs would be to shore up the stream banks and the bridges and so forth. But the reality is Burksdale can continue to get hit hard every time we have a flood. It's the first golf course along the stream. And that's where the stream takes the initial heavy turn, and it turns quite a bit on that on the golf course. And every time you take all this huge volume of water and you try and send it right or left, it just doesn't want to do that. So it eats away at the stream banks and so forth. So all that going on, and you have a side issue that we can't ignore, is that our rounds have the number of rounds played each year has been steadily going down.
At Burksdale?
At all our golf courses.
All of our golf courses.
All our golf courses.
Okay.
Back in the heyday, they say that we did 300,000 rounds, and last year we did 155,000. So the question is do we need this many golf courses and the expense that comes with having all these golf courses?
Gotcha.
And what could we do with this land? And so the board made the very challenging, very hard decision last Thursday to permanently close Burksdale, the southern portion of it. And so that's the portion that has been closed ever since the flood. So unfortunately, it'll never reopen. And they made the other challenging decision, which was to permanently close the north portion at the end of this year.
Gotcha. Okay.
This will give people, kind of an opportunity to say goodbye. And during that time, we can start looking for possible partners on possibly extending the Razorback Greenway into that land and so forth. So, that we're now kind of entering into that next phase of, okay, now what are we going to do with that land? And how are we going to fix it, and how are we going to create a park, and what is the definition of a park? Because a park can be a lot of different things. So it's exciting times ahead of us, but there's been a lot of property owners that are very, very upset with the closure. And I totally understand that. I totally appreciate that. But we need to make sure that that the board is making the best decision possible for the entire community.
Now, I understand that no decision has yet been made on what we're to do with that, with the Burkesdale area. They're
No.
still in the planning stages and the looking. And
Correct.
isn't there like a committee that's looking at?
Well, they're going to form a committee. If you remember the position statement that Ron Stratton and the rest of the board put out,
Right.
It talks about creating a task force called Vision 2020. So that task force has not yet been formed. I anticipate it'll be formed probably in this next month. But at this point, what the board has voted on is three things: close Burkesdale South, close Burkesdale North at the end of this year.
Yes.
And hire a consultant to determine what our golf demand is.
There you go. Yeah.
On a long-term basis. And this is one point that I want to emphasize. A lot of people are talking about golf demand now, but what the board needs to do, and what the board factored into their decision-making, is not just what's going on now, but what's going to happen 5 and 10 years from now.
Yes.
And that's critical, and it's kind of a different mindset.
And sometimes that's hard. Change is hard.
Change is very hard, but I look at Branchwood, what occurred there, as kind of a success story.
Oh, yes.
Here you had an underutilized golf course that was, sucking money out of the POA. And instead, we converted that into a walking trail, and that is being used so much that over the wintertime, we had to add 29 parking spots to that parking lot because we were maxing out the parking lot.
Yes.
So we've taken this resource and repurposed it and taken it from being underutilized to, oh my gosh, we need to expand the parking lot. And now there's times that even the 29 spots are not sufficient. So to me, that is a success story, but it was still a painful decision at that time to permanently close Branchwood.
And it is so beautiful at all times of the year, even in deep winter. And then when the spring wildflowers come out, it's just heavenly.
Yeah, my wife and I will take our dogs out on a walk on Branchwood. It's a great 1.5 mile walk. It's really delightful.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I tell you what, this is something that we always do on this show, and I really love it. And I think it's time now maybe to know what the latest rumor is.
So the latest rumor, and we actually covered this in one of our meetings, presentations, is the rumor that if Burkesdale is no longer a golf course, the land reverts back to Cooper. And that's just not factual.
No.
There is no reversionary clause. Now, there is a deed restriction that only Cooper holds, and as long as the land is used for recreational purposes, Cooper doesn't have any issues. Now, if we try to convert the land into a strip mall, we would have to receive permission from Cooper in order to do that. But that's not what the board is looking at. The board is looking at, how do we repurpose this land for a park? And we've had conversations with NWA Trailblazers about extending the Razorback Greenway, so forth. So that's one of the rumors that is going around. And my guess is, in speaking with some property owners, is the reversionary clause myth comes from most of the churches where Cooper gave the church the land. in that legal documentation, if it no longer is a church down the road, then that land reverts back to Cooper. So I think that's where the reversionary clause myth was founded, or came from. I'm not certain.
Yeah.
But it's a myth and it's not reality.
Good to know. Hey, could you talk about the Celebrating Success?
Yes. So we recognized 5 of our Lake Point employees last Thursday. We try and always do the Celebrating Success, which is kind of like the Employee of the Month, but we try and do that each month at the board meetings. And so we received or saw on Facebook the following. So I'm going to read this. This is from a property owner. I'm going to omit their name because they don't have permission to disclose their name. Enjoyed Lake Point's brunch today. Food was delicious and the service was wonderful. There was a man there celebrating his 89th birthday all by himself. When the staff realized that he was alone and it was his birthday, they made sure he had a memorable and special time. They took pictures with him, spent time fussing over him. We were so impressed with the staff and their kindness. Way to go, Lake Point Restaurant.
Awesome.
That's wow.
It is.
That is just fantastic customer service. And that's why we do the Celebrating Success, because we want to reinforce that with all of our employees.
Absolutely. Well, I have enjoyed one more time talking with you today.
And we forgot one thing.
Oh, we did. Let's talk about the charity golf.
Yeah, that's coming up pretty
Okay.
soon. Ruth Hatcher is our volunteer coordinator.
Yes.
And she needs more volunteers.
She does. And that golf tourney, I believe, is the 6th and 7th of June.
That's correct.
And she has let us know that you can sign up in the Golf Pro Shop.
Correct.
And I believe also there's more information on the detail part of it on your POA website. I believe I saw that the other day.
Correct.
So we need help.
Yeah, we need a lot of volunteers for this event. Last year was our first year, and we had a tremendous number of volunteers that helped out. And we need that same number of people to participate this year. Mm-hmm. This is our second year. We're anticipating it's going to be bigger and better.
And I believe Ruth has made the statement that you don't really have to know golf backwards and forwards. There are things for other people to do as well.
Well, my wife is volunteered last year. She's volunteering against this year, and she's not a golfer.
Yeah.
And they found a great job for her to do and last year, and I'm sure they'll find something for her to do this year. So you don't need to know golf. You just need to be willing to donate your time.
Gotcha. And that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, again, thank you for being with us today.
I appreciate that.
We're now going to go to a pre-recorded segment of Joan, our Director of Recreation and Wellness, and this is all about the beach at Avalon.
Welcome to the beach at Lake Avalon. We're super excited today to show you all the progress that's been made in anticipation for our grand opening on Saturday, May 26th. I'm showing you 150 feet of beautiful lakefront, and we've got this beautiful white sand. We brought in special from southern Arkansas to build the beach and the sand volleyball court. In fact, we brought in over 2,000 tons to build this beach. Got plenty of amenities, including our concession stand. We're going to take a walk in a little bit and show you some of those amenities. Know that the beach is working on the same fee structure as our outdoor pools. In fact, if you buy one of our outdoor pool passes / beach passes, you have access to all our outdoor pools and the beach. Our work crew that are doing some grading work, they've been doing a fantastic job. In fact, all of this beach has been built in-house. Another great feature we're going to offer here at the beach is rentals for kayaks and stand-up paddle boards. You'll be able to check in over here at our concession stand and rent them out for either an hour or up to a half day. We're also adding some things for kids, including a stand-up paddleboard camp that'll be featured a couple of weeks during the summer. We're also adding a fitness class on paddleboards that'll be offered for adults in the evenings. And for you sand volleyball players, I'm standing in the middle of your future volleyball court, which will be regulation size. In the background, you are hard at work teams that are actually doing some grading work in preparation for installation of our low-to-the-ground zip line that's designed for kids 6 to 12 years old. It's going to be a great playground feature here at the park. On the hillside, there'll be a variety of scattered picnic tables so that you can have a drop-in picnic. And over my other shoulder, you see our pavilion, which is being renovated. The whole building will be painted. We've just restored the bathrooms. We're adding an outdoor beach shower so you can get rid of that pesky sand. And of course, the pavilion is available for rental. What a great place to hold your family event.
Hey, thanks for being here today. We appreciate it. And join us next time so you'll be in the know.